What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the vlog. So today's Saturday, and Saturday means I run my weekly marathon. You may be asking yourself, why is this guy running a marathon every Saturday? Well, the answer isn't quite simple. You see, I'm not supposed to be here in Miami, and I'm not supposed to be running a marathon every Saturday. I'm really supposed to be in the Himalayas on an expedition to climb Am Dablam. But a month and a half ago, after a full year of training my butt off, my expedition got canceled due to COVID-19. And when your plans get canceled, what do? You look for plan B. My plan B became signing up for 2 ultra marathons. I wanted to put all my hard work and training into something. I just didn't want it all be for nothing. And so I signed up for 50K coming up in a couple weeks, and then a 125 miler in January 1st to start the new year. And so I had to shift my training, and that meant increasing my running volume. So how did I do that? Well, I progressively started adding more miles to my weekly runs until I got to a marathon on a Saturday 3 weeks ago. And I said, well, I did it one Saturday, why not just keep it up? And so I have been. It's been a fun challenge. I've gotten people out there to run with me, and I've been enjoying it ever since, even though today was a bit rough on the legs. And so that leads me to today's topic, which is how to select your running shoes. Well, there's so many running shoes out there for so many different type of feet and so many different types of terrain and running and racing. And so how do you make a decision with all these shoes to choose from? Well, the answer is the most rookie mistake you can make is running into your local running store, picking up your favorite looking shoes, putting them on and going for a training run. Well, one training run might not do it, but if you stick to a training schedule and you're training every other day or every day or 5 times a week, you can possibly injure yourself by using the wrong shoe. And I learned that the hard way because when I started running 3 years ago, about a month into my training, I got an Achilles injury that sent me out for about 6 weeks, and it was all because I was using the wrong shoe. And so after that, I went to my local running store, and they videotaped me in slow motion as I ran on a treadmill. And they were able to see exactly what my foot mechanics looked like and how I was striking the ground. And therefore, they gave me these 361-degree Sensation 3 shoes to fix a small issue I was having, which was landing in the inside of my foot, which is called subplanation. And without me going to that store, I would have never figured out, because to me, I was running perfectly. And ever since I got these shoes, I've worn them. Well, this is probably my 4th or 5th pair that I've had, and they're fantastic. I've never had an Achilles injury again or any kind of problem like that again, knock on wood. These have been great shoes, and these are what are considered support shoes because the sole is a little wider and it helps compensate in case you're not landing perfectly flat on the ground. They're also stiff, which I personally like. You see, they have this carbon fiber plate in the middle, gives it a little bit more rigidity, which makes them more responsive when you're running, especially on pavement. And it's just become a shoe I'm very fond of. And the best part is they're quite cheap. I think I pay about $65 to $59, depending how much they're going for. Compared to some other shoes, I can run north of $200. These are great. I love them. I'm probably never going to change them as long as they make them, or I'll buy as many as I can in case they discontinue them. Then here I have these are the Ultra Lone Peak. So this is a 0 drop shoe. And what that means is that you have absolutely no lift on your heel from your heel to your toes, essentially flat. And these are also trail runners. You can see the sole has these lugs, which make them aggressive for running on different types of terrain. Then we have here the On Cloud runners. These are great shoes. I would say, for me at least, they're more training shoes because they're very soft. They're not very stiff. And for long runs, I personally like stiff shoes. But for shorter runs, anything between 5 and 7 miles, they're great, and I really enjoy running them. Kind of do feel like you're running on clouds. And lastly, here I have the wildly popular Hoka ones. These are the Arahi 3s, and they're support shoes as well, like the Sensation 3s, which means they're a little extra wide in the sole. And these have a ton of cushion, and the reason for that cushion is because when you're running on pavement for a prolonged period of time, this will help lessen the impact on your feet. And while that is great for a lot of people, for me, it tends to contribute to my knee problems because you're so high off the ground. It creates a little instability problem. And I've found, and I also get blisters from these shoes, which I don't like. I've used them on a couple ultras, and I can't get away from the blisters no matter what I do, what kind of socks I wear, how much squirrel nut butter I put on my feet. So these, I use them more than anything for recovery runs, or if I've been doing a long run, maybe the last couple miles, I'll switch them off and I'll put these on just to lessen the impact on my feet when my feet are already tired. With that being said, All 4 of these shoes are completely different and they serve a completely different purpose depending on what I'm doing. And there's tons of shoes out there that you can use that will be tailored to your particular body mechanics. And the only way to find that out is to go to your local running store, have them videotape you in slow motion, and they can diagnose the kind of problems you might be having when your foot is striking the ground. You may have a perfect gait where your foot is landing perfectly at the perfect time and the perfect angle, and therefore you can use the Nike Next Percent Kipchoge used to break the 2-hour marathon. Or maybe not. Maybe you have to use a support shoe or a neutral shoe or a shoe with a higher drop or lower drop, or maybe you need an insert. Who knows? Maybe you have a high arch or a low arch. The only way you can find this out is by going to a professional and having them tell you what you need, instead of doing the guesswork and then potentially getting injured and having to sit out for a prolonged period of time. Well guys, now I'd like to know what your favorite running shoe is, so put it in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, and if you want to watch more awesome content, then make sure to subscribe. We'll see you next time.